With the Bihar Assembly polls slated to be held in October or November, the Election Commission on Friday issued fresh guidelines for voting and conducting elections amid the COVID-19 pandemic. The directives were issued after taking into considerations suggestions made by political parties and chief electoral officers of the state and union territories.
In view of the upcoming Bihar Assembly polls, the Election Commission issued fresh guidelines for conduct of election during the COVID-19 pandemic. After considering suggestions made by political parties and chief electoral officers of state and union territories, the poll watchdog said that only a group of 5 people can campaign door to door. It also restricted candidate convoy for roadshows to 5 vehicles, among other measures. Bihar will be the first state where assembly election will be held amid the pandemic. The polls are likely to be held sometime in October-November. Norms for polling during COVID. Only 2 people can accompany candidate at the time of nomination. If a voter shows symptoms of virus, the person will be provided a token and asked to come back at the last hour of polling. Hand gloves will be provided to voters at the time of signing registers and pressing the EVM button. Maximum 1,000 voters can vote at a polling station. Earlier, the maximum number was 1,500. Voters will be asked to wear face masks, which they will be asked to remove briefly for identification at the time of voting. Quarantine patients will be allowed to vote at the last hour of poll under supervision of health officials. The guideline does not mention anything on virtual rallies and digital campaigns. The term of the Bihar Legislative Assembly comes to an end on November 29th and polls are likely to be held sometimes in October-November. Several by-polls were recently postponed mainly due to coronavirus and rain. No fresh schedule has been announced as yet. The Election Commission had last month asked the party to send their views and suggestions so that necessary guidelines may be formed up for the election campaign by candidates and political parties for the conduct of election during the pandemic period. Parties such as RJD and CPIM are learned to be opposed to the concept of virtual campaigning in the assembly polls, while RJD and CPIM have urged the panel to not allow digital rallies on ground of disruption of the level playing field. Lok Janshakti Party, LJP and NDA constituent has suggested less emphasis on this mode of campaigning. Earlier too, in a memorandum submitted to the EC in July, 9 opposition parties had questioned the digital campaign launched by BJP in Bihar, saying it disturbed the level playing field. They had demanded normal electioneering. Bureau Report.